Let me get right into it. Okay, there's a lot of confusion out there about the role that a judge takes in a boxing match and how they get there, who pays it or who pays for them, how they're selected, and just, a lot of questions. Let me try to sum it up for you real quick, okay? Okay, let's take Adelaide Byrd, for example. She's been in the business about 20 years now. You go down, you file for your license, you get approved, and then they start you on these little crummy undercards, and you build your way up to these big mega pay per view events. Now, each event pays different. Okay, for example, like I said, she's been a judge for about 20 years now, and the Canelo Golovkin fight was her 22nd fight of the year to judge. Okay, 22nd fight of the year to judge. Now, typically the commission, it's real shady, okay? They're in charge of picking the judges, but the promoter can give the commission a list, like Oscar De La Hoya can go to Nevada State Athletic Commission and say, okay, I want Bird, Moretti, and Trella, whatever. I want these three judges, and that's it. Boom, you got it, no problem. Okay, so this is why you have these judges that are constantly, scoring a particular fighter, like a Mayweather. Okay, Mayweather Promotions, right? He's the promoter, so he's always going to get Dave Moretti. Okay, now, and this is crazy. This gets crazier. Okay, the promoters are legally, they're allowed to pay for their expenses, and they always do. It's not that they're allowed, they do. Okay, the hotel, the travel, the food, taxis, whatever, and that does include expense money. They can basically give them envelopes of cash for additional expenses. One judge actually required hookers, that the promoter would give them, an envelope of money, a nice hotel, a steak dinner, and he also wanted a hooker the night before the fight, and that was actually a part of the deal. Okay, now with the take a Bird or a Moretti or whoever, okay, one of their stipulations, one of their requirements is I want an envelope of cash with $20,000 in it. Okay, so, and look, these are facts. You can go back in history. You can look at the court documents where these people have been charged. They've been, whatever. There's a ton of evidence. I can't get into it right now, but I'm going to. I'm going to make a video about Bird, and I'm going to show you the corruption underneath this woman. And, I also find it odd that her husband, Robert Byrd, was referee in one of the fights on the undercard. I mean, how crazy is that? You got Robert Byrd, the referee, on the undercard of Gennady Golovkin Canelo, and you have Adelaide Byrd judging Canelo Golovkin. Okay, but I just wanted to kind of kick off the video talking about that like I said, these judges are required, or and not required, but they're, it's okay for them to ask for expense funds, meaning an envelope of money. Okay, and again, that's why these promoters. You'll notice it's always the same one. Even if they can get one judge on the payroll out of three, just one, okay, then that puts their fighter at a huge advantage over the other guy. Even if it's only one out of three, okay. So, but typically they have two, like a Moretti and a Bird. But in this situation, I think it was this Trela dude, whatever the fuck, I can't pronounce his name, and Bird. Okay, I think both of them are working for Golden Boy Promotion. So now also, Adeline Byrd has been sideline benched according to the Nevada State Athletic Commission. She's been benched now, not fired. Okay, not suspended, nothing like that. They said she needs to, catch her breath. Okay, basically she needs to put herself in check because, the corrupt. She's basically, she's so corrupt that she just does it right in front of the world and doesn't even blink an eye, doesn't even care. Like she's so ballsy about it now. Like, here, 118, 110 in the biggest fight of the decade. What you gonna do about it is basically her attitude. And can somebody get my envelope full of money, or in this case, my backpack full of money from Oscar De La Hoya? I got shopping to do. Okay, and look, people, this is corruption. Canelo did not win this fight. Okay, I mean, I don't know what it's going to take to get that through your heads. I mean, this is corruption at its absolute finest. Okay, now let me read you an article. I never do. I even, you know. I talk about other channels that read articles. I don't like it, but this is such a good article. I want to just quickly read the end of it for you, and then I'll close it with like a 1 minute discussion. Okay. Okay, fortunately for Golovkin, the worst that happened was that Canelo was given a draw because they're talking about, he didn't steal his titles. Many people saw it as a clear win for Gennady Golovkin. What most people saw is Gennady Golovkin controlling the pace 90% of the fight, backing Alvarez onto the ropes, consistently outlanding him with jabs, almost 50 jabs. The jab controlled the pace of the fight. Gennady Golovkin outlanded Canelo 28 to 169 and landed more punches in 10 out of 12 rounds. Okay, I mean, look, by any stat, you can go back and count for yourself. Gennady Golovkin outlanded at least 9 or 10 rounds out of 12. Okay, Alvarez looked slow. He had minimal answers for Gennady Golovkin. He was on his bike until he had to fight in spurts. I mean, just like I told you guys he would do. And by the way, this is Boxing 24/7. Look, these guys need to give me a shout out. I'm always like promoting their website, but trying to counterpunch Gennady Golovkin while his back to the ropes constantly, especially in the later rounds where Golovkin looked completely comfortable and Alvarez had no real answer for a fighter that wasn't smaller or past his prime or has a weak chin. Okay, now here's the cool part. In an anonymous online poll, a whopping 79% of the people polled thought Golovkin won, and only 10% thought Canelo won. I mean, check this out right here. Okay, who did you have winning? Only 10% of the people had Canelo winning. Gennady Golovkin, nearly 80%, over 3,000 people polled said Golovkin won. Okay, 3,840 votes total were submitted in this online poll. Out of 3,800 people, 3,000 had Golovkin winning, and of course 400 had it a draw. So that made up, 3,400, and then only under 400 had Canelo winning. What does this tell you? Okay, out of a total of 69 boxing writers and fighters, a landslide 54 thought Golovkin won. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 thought Canelo won. I mean, come on, people, look at this. Teddy Atlas 118, 110. I mean, I'm gonna go down. Look, I'll just read it right here. Harold Letterman 116, 112. Raphael 116, 112. I mean, it goes on. Amir Khan 116, 112. These are all for Golovkin. Matthew Macklin, Steve Lills, but I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Okay, I mean, all of these people. Gennady Golovkin, Gennady Golovkin, Gennady Golovkin, Gennady Golovkin. I mean, Joel Diaz, okay, 150, 113. Max Kellerman, 150, 130. Dave Moretti, which I'm shocked. Lennox Lewis, Austin Trout, Golovkin. Danny Jacobs. I mean, come on, people. Danny Jacobs got Golovkin winning. Terrence Crawford. Liam Smith, Peter Quillian, Luke Campbell, Dave Coldwell, Bundu Jack, Dana White. I mean, Steve Kim, Doug Fisher, Ring, Michael Montero, Joe Rogan, Jim Rose. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Lance Pugmire, Roy Jones, Kenny Porter. I mean, these are the people that had a draw. But you see my point. I mean, when I look at this, like I said, I usually don't like to share, articles, but that one, it's kind of overwhelming, right? I mean, it just had this overwhelming, number to it that I wanted to share with you guys. But look, at the end of the whole thing, I mean, there is a mountain of evidence, but what's going to be done about it? Probably nothing. And I guarantee you it'll be a matter of time before Byrd is on a refereeing some, undercard on probably the next 2 or 3 pay-per-views down the road. Look, and being a judge, it's a big business. I mean, these judges are making just tons of cash, okay? I mean, it's almost like being a promoter. Okay, they make a damn good living and being a referee. So you got Robert Byrd and Adelaide Byrd. Look, they're just raking in the dough. They're just raking in the money, and it's corrupt. It really is. I mean, what a shame. What an absolute shame. And thing too. Look, if he would have stood there and fought like he said he would do, Canelo said, I will not back up. I will not run from Gennady Golovkin. I'll knock him out. I'm going to plant my foot in the middle of the ring. It's going to be like 2 brick walls. I'm going to be like Roberto Duran, Hagler Hearns. But no, this was like Canelo Irislan de Lara. That's what this reminded me of. This was just, The dude was on his bike. I mean, he had like a flat tire and had to go get another bike. I mean, this dude like wore the wheel. I mean, wore the wheels off the bike, right? I've never seen a boxer on their bike as much as I did Canelo. So, and right here, Bernard Hopkins, this dude is quickly losing all integrity. But let's read a couple of comments. He put out a post-fight interview that agreed with the 118, 110. Okay, right here, surviving means winning now 8 to G4. He sold himself out. He's lying. Just people you know, uh, just people are really unhappy with him. After watching this, I'm now I'm now rewatching his ignorant ass get knocked out of the ring. Canelo got smashed for 12 rounds. That's what I saw. What a jerk. It just seriously, this is bad. I mean, this is terrible for boxing, unfortunately, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to be done about it. I don't know, but I wanted to share this with you guys. I wanted to explain, how these corrupt judges make their money. They get their little travel expense or whatever, basically their backpack full of fucking Benjamins, okay, full of $100 bills, and that's why they give one fighter the nod over another. So leave your comment below. What do you think?